Today we're going to talk about isolation and how it affects humans. So basically we are all coded. We have a biogenic coding, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how this affects all of us, because right now we're at a time where we're all forced into isolation in this quarantine that we're all going through globally. And so I thought it was a good time now to talk about this, and hopefully it'll bring some people some comfort, because there are ways to not let it affect us emotionally. There might be a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and so each day we're going to talk about one of these aspects that are affecting us all right now, and hopefully bring some understanding, some clarity to it. So, like I said, all humans have something that's called biogenic coding. This coding determines our behaviors. It's part of the brain, the lizard brain you might have heard of, that dictates our behavior. And it's subconscious, we don't notice it. So often we don't know it's present. And it's things like, we all have a desire for high caloric food, to reproduce, to seek comfort, to avoid discomfort. These are all codings that all humans have. And our civilization around us has built up in reaction to this coding. So the industry is trying to bring us things that are more comfortable. We have refined things that we're attracted to, like sugars, to an addictive level. It's in everything now. And this is just because we have this coding. We're attracted to it biogenically. It's not even consciously. But this coding that I'm talking about developed over hundreds of thousands of years. It was around in prehistoric times. And that's really what it's designed for, because it's designed for scarcity and danger. So our brain's always looking for potential danger. And because of that, we're coded with the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, is operating faster than the reason part of the brain, which is the newer part of the brain. And it takes time for that cognitive part, the reason part of the brain, to assess whether you're in real danger or not. But our brains send us a signal and prepare us as though we are. So really our feelings, our reactions are suggestions, not commands. So we're going to talk a lot about that each day, but today specifically we're going to talk about isolation. So the fundamental fear of all humans is to be kicked out the tribe, to be alone. That's a fear. All humans have it. People override it and deal with it in different ways, but we're coded that way. And we're coded that way because, if you think back to Paleolithic times, we're not a very strong animal. We don't have horns or fangs. We can't spit poison. We don't have claws or armor. So we're kind of fragile. And so it's dangerous for us to be out in the world alone. So we have this bonding coding, this feeling like we need to be in a tribe because we feel safer. And every human has that. When you get kicked out of the tribe, that's when you get into your fears. And so we're constantly trying not to get kicked out of the tribe. We're trying to posture and do what we need to do to stay connected to someone or a group. And we have lots of different tribes in our world. It could be the group that I work out with, my book club, my family, my friends group that I go out and have drinks with. These are all different tribes, and I'm making sure that I'm staying connected with those tribes and staying still a valuable member of this tribe, so they don't kick me out. So now what's happened, we've been isolated from these tribes. So we've been removed from these tribes and put on our own. So this coding is going off in us because it's signaling potential danger. Now, the amygdala, the part of this brain, is sending us these signals. Hey, you're in potential danger. And what it does to get us to act on this, it sends out very powerful chemicals. This cocktail of chemicals from neurotransmitters to hormones, and then we have a sensation. And then we act on that sensation. And so that's basically what is our control mechanism, is this assessment of danger, potential danger, motivate you to act. Here's some very powerful chemicals that will motivate you, because it doesn't know if we need to flee from danger or fight. So it's preparing me. So I'm getting adrenaline, my pupils are dilating, my heart rate's coming up, and I'm getting into a panic. That's just preparing me if I need to run or I'm going to be attacked. So it's not real. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, am I safe? Right now, am I safe? And if the answer is yes, then you can start to get back control of this physiology. So we're going to do, in a few minutes, we're going to do a little breath work and show you how you can get control, because we are, by default, we're a very calm species, but our thoughts take us away from this. So think for a moment about not having language, right? Imagine if you didn't have language. You wouldn't be able to tell yourself stories or recap, conversations you've had. You would have to, all you would be able to do is see exactly what's going on. So presently, what's in my environment. You could remember images from the past. If there's something scary, you can see a picture of it. But you couldn't get into a deep discussion, which takes us down this rabbit hole of fear. And so we want to learn how to take control back. So it's really having control of our physiology, understanding, first of all, it's not real. This sensation it's coding. There's nothing wrong. There's no danger here. Actually, I'm safe being alone. In our modern world, we've actually made it very safe for us to be on our own, because it's dangerous for us. We've wiped out most of the animals that are over 100 pounds that are dangerous to us. And we live in these fortresses with locks on them. We drive around in these metal boxes with armchairs in them, with air conditioning. So we're very, very safe right now. We still have this old coding. We're still coded as though we're not. So what we want is connection. There's a couple of reasons for that. Hold on. I have a sip of water. So we want to be connected, as I mentioned, to feel safe, but also to get validated in terms, not validated like, hey, I'm great, but validated like I exist. Because we have this strange phenomenon within us. We have this identity that's not actually part of our body. You can't open up someone's brain and go, hey, let me see your identity or personality or ego. I can't see it. It's just us rehabbing, kind of regurgitating different behaviors. And so that identity wants to get validated, and it gets validated through other people. So hey, basically we're saying, when we're connecting with people, do you see me? Do I exist to you? It was in the movie Avatar. I don't remember what their greeting was, but it was something like, I see you. And that's basically what we're asking. Hey, do you see me? Do I exist? And so we can really help people and empower people by letting them know they exist. You don't have to use those words, but you can say, hey, how are you? That was great what you did. I really appreciate this. I care about you. I'm thinking about you. Whatever that is, that creates validation. So, hey, you see me, I exist, and now I feel better. And so that's a great practice to get into. And we've seen these amazing things that are going on around the world with people connecting in really interesting ways. I've seen in many apartment buildings people playing music and everyone sort of having an evening concert together, police dancing in the street, people having drive-by birthday parties. They're creating that connection because of that coding that we're afraid to be alone. That coding is old. It doesn't need to affect you. Yes, there's still benefits and we want to still keep the bonding. That's great. But if you're not, don't let that override you. Don't let that take control over you. So what you want to do is find comfort, find peace in being by yourself. So to do that, you want to remove right and wrong, possible, impossible, for a moment. Just get rid of that and just start breathing. At any time in your day, you can do your breath. You can go back to this breathing just for 5 minutes, and you will find that calm. Because really, by default, we are very calm and peaceful people. Humans are very calm and peaceful, but we get taken away from that because we're in this constant state of danger, or the experience as though we're in danger. So I want to show you how to take control of your physiology so you can override that programming. Okay? So just where you get in a comfortable position, and just sit down or lie down if you want, or sit up so you're leaning back against something. It doesn't matter, just as long as you're comfortable. Okay? And you're going to close your eyes and you're going to start breathing. Imagine you're breathing from your belly button up to your chest. So take a deep breath, and then when it gets up to your chest, you let it linger there, and then slowly let it fall down back down to your belly button. Okay? Gently close your eyes, and then let your eyeballs sink back into the sockets. I know that feels very strange, probably, that we don't often let go of our eyeballs. There's lots of muscles around the eyes, but you can actually relax them. The relaxed position of the eyes is when the eye rolls back into the head. So just let that relax. And now just keep the breathing from the belly button up to the chest, and then back down to the belly button. And just get a sense of how you're feeling. What state are you in? And we're all probably in different states. As some people maybe feel calm already. Some people maybe have extreme anxiety. We actually condition our brains from when we're very young. There's 3 major stages of brain development. So young child, 3 to 5 years old. There is around 7, 8, like middle school age, and then young adulthood, 18, 21. Around those ages, they're kind of loose around that, but they're very significant times of brain development for us. And we react to things around us. So our societies, our parents, our schooling, things like that, and that starts coding us, and we're learning how to survive in these environments. And so we create behaviors that keep us, in that moment, kept us alive, basically. And so then we repeat those behaviors, and that's what becomes our identity. So keep your eyes closed, keep that breathing, and you're just assessing how you feel. And if you're someone who has coded their brain, has conditioned their brain to have a lot of fear, you're going to be efficient at releasing the chemicals that give you the experience of fear. All it is the body's trying to prepare you for danger. It's trying to prepare you that you might get attacked, you might run, because that's signals that your brain's receiving. Okay? But when we're focusing on one thing, like our breath, like we're doing now, the brain can't distract itself with all these negative thoughts, these potential dangers. Our brain are excellent at going down these rabbit holes of scary stories. And we need to get control of that. So that's like, you have a leak. You need to turn off the faucet. And so those thoughts are the faucet that's running. We need to stop it. And we stop it by thinking on one thing. So right now we're going to focus on your breath. So bringing it up from your belly button. Let it linger in the transition. And then back down. And just notice how you're feeling. Do you have anxiety, stress? How are you coded? You're really starting to get an understanding of how you're coded.